Hi, hello everyone. So happy to be here. Okay, yesterday, the last video, okay, I know, in the current time, still Saturday. So the last video we just talked about the Contempt of Congress. So I don't know if I have very clearly explained the Contempt of Congress in the United States. So in the history, when we refer to the United States, the Contempt of Congress can just derive to the 1970s. So that has been over almost half a century. And when the time in the 1970s, it is just that it's just a year just happened some incident that is concerned with the Contempt of Congress. So that is not the initial point. That year, that beginning, that the Contempt of Congress just start. It is not. So we can just derive furthermore earlier. So that has been a very long-term time when the Contempt of Congress just in the United States. That is not a behavior suddenly produced out or happened in the government. So how I can just bring some knowledge to you. So I think you must be very curious about the history. So when we talk about the Contempt of Congress, that is you hinder the United States Congress or any work in a committee. All of the behaviors all include in. So in the history, United States, if you bribe the American senators or the House of Representatives, all are seen as the Contempt of Congress. But in the modern time, the Contempt of Congress is just appropriate to those who reject the Congress committee or the congressional subcommittees summons or subpoena. So just in the modern time, further ancient time in history, the earlier time is just about the bribe. But in the modern time, the Contempt of Congress just related to those people who reject the summons or subpoena from the committee or the congressional subcommittees. So usually when we talk about a summons and a subpoena, I don't know if you understand what is about the summon and subpoena. So usually the summon and subpoena is to enforce some person to testify or offer some document that is demanded. That is the very approximately phenomenon that is about the contempt of Congress. So in a very early age, the 1970 years later period of time, when you announce contempt of Congress will be regarded, that is a kind of power called implied power of the legislative situation and institution. The power implied is implied. It is just like the United Kingdom's Congress can do some adjudication to the contempt of Congress. So in a very early stage in the United States Congress, here are so many people has offered so many sort of behaviors to just issue to just deliver out the subpoena that is about the contempt Congress. This case is just included Robert in the 1795. He just attempted to bribe the South Carolina state, the Senator William. Or another incident is just the newspaper's editor, the reporter William. He rejected to answer the question from the senator. So this is all the examples when the early stage in the United States. So many people will just deliver out so many kinds of behaviors to issue their subpoena for the contempt Congress. So in the history, here are several very famous cases when the United States passed through the Anderson v. Dunn case. So the United States Supreme Court adjudicate the United States Congress has right to use the contempt of Congress to arrest some person, and both regard that will assure the Congress, assure the Congress, will not be bothered or interfered by any implied or capricious, even the complacency behaviors, all about this, the insult. So after this, when we return back to the original point, to regard the bribe senator or the representatives, the behavior is seen as the contempt of Congress is is the explanation in the history. When this moment of time, I just say that these bribe behavior has been gave up. So what has replaced it is, remember, is criminal legislation. Originally, it is just about the bribe, but finally, the bribe has been given up, and replaced it is the criminal legislation. In the 1857 year, United States Congress issued a law. The law put the contempt of Congress to be the law, issue a law to put the contempt of Congress point toward United States criminal cases. Remember, criminal cases. So when the time is come to the 1934, the scandal, here is a very famous news scandal, airmail scandal. The airmail scandal is just like this. It is all about the subpoena. It's also the subpoena's problem. So here is Assistant Chief William. He worked in the United States Department of Commerce, Air. The William, he received the subpoena from the Congress, but after he just destroy the proven things, then he was arrested for 10 days detained. And afterward he just appeal to the Supreme Court. But finally, it just lost of the case. And then he just turned another direction to just surrender to the surgeon at arms of the United States Senate. This sergeant at arms is called Chesley Journey. So, and the later person arrested him and also detained him in the Washington Wheeler Hotel. Although some people say that Congress will make stubborn witness become helpless on the aspect of obeying, but actually, in the fact, the relative cases can be submitted to the United States Department of Justice to cope with. But the United States Department of Justice, here is the office called Office of Legal Counsel, regard that United States President, because the president is protected by the executive privilege. So the president can just prevent and avoid from the contempt of Congress. So that is a kind of mention that is about the contempt of Congress. So you will discover some case will just unveil. That is not easy when we just use the contempt of Congress. And the contempt of Congress reach up to the president. It is just another kind of thing. And afterward, the United States Supreme Court in the Watkins v. United States, the Supreme Court is sure what? Listen. When the Congress is processing the investigation, the power from it is the legislative procedures originally fixed want. And beside of this, without doubt, remember, the whole citizen. Here is a citizen. So when we talk about contempt of Congress, it is not impossible without citizen. The citizen is just everyone in the country. So remember, without doubt, the whole citizen all have the obligation to cooperate with Congress and pay efforts to obtain the wise legislative action and all the facts from it. Pay the efforts to warn all the facts. That is the wise legislative action wanting to need. So all citizens have the obligation to do the response toward the subpoena, the summons, and respect the Congress and the committee's esteem, the dignity. Besides, in order to appropriately investigate all the range about the items related to the cases, offer the sufficient testimony. Okay, that is all about the very important content of texture. The texture. So the Congress regulation offer all the standing committee members power to force witness in their jurisdiction, the main bodies to offer the testimony and documents. So the committee's regulation can order or just to issue the subpoena from the whole committee, or just allowed the subcommittee or the chief of the committee to issue the subpoena. So another case is just like the Wilkinson v. United States. So in the case, when we talk about subpoena, Congress subpoena must compel and qualify the three demands that is just sufficiently legal. So the first, the committee, in order to the widely topic territories investigation, must have the authority from the House which is belong to it. And the second, the investigation must seek for the legislative purpose, which is work. But although it's just must seek for this, but it is not needed to involve the legislation, and it is not needed the very sure final intention from the Congress. Finally, the specific inquiries must be related with the topic territory from the investigation which has already authorized. So that is the history about the contempt of Congress. So you will discover actually here is so many complicated description and experiences and procedures in all of this. And the final one, Eastland v. United States Servicemen's Fund. In the case, the United States Supreme Court adjudicate the Congress subpoena summons are belong to the speak or debate clause range. The clause order just in the time. Sure, the congressman just exert the procedure very forcefully, and in the things that are called legal legislative range behavior. So just at this time, assure, and then that will absolutely forbid the justice interfering. So according to the adjudication. So the court commonly and generally will not listen the motion or the proposal that canceled out the Congress subpoena. So even the executive department officials reject to obey. So the court is just very common and usually adjudicate this kind of problem that is belong to the political province, and that is not suitable for the justice relief. Actually, many situations usually is related to the Congress subpoena on the law rights that is not suitable for the Congress subpoena. Just like the attorney-client, the privilege, all usually under the protection of the information from the Uniform Trade Secret Act, so they don't need to admit. That is all about the contempt of Congress. So I don't know how I can do when just the contempt of Congress in Taiwan has become a very huge news. But actually, in the Western world, the contempt of Congress has experienced so very long time that in every case is very famous news, and each case here are also many complicated and complex procedures and content in the every case. So the contempt of Congress is just getting is getting more and more mature after so many years developing. So that is not so quickly suddenly appear or produce out. And in the original point, the contempt of Congress is just about that is not very selfish or elegant reason from some certain politician. So the contempt of Congress is very formally created in the United States. So you have to know about this. So that is the difference. When we talk about the contempt of Congress, we cannot see this is similar with the United States. That is totally different, and the two sides, the contempt of Congress is totally different from. So why I want to talk about this to you all is because I feel that is a little bit seriously. When I see so many protesters 100,000 people just went on the road and to announce offer their willingness to the Congress. So that is a very important incident in Taiwan. So I want you to know that actually in the United States, what is the contempt of Congress? That is all about today. I want to talk with you seriously about all the content, the texture. So I hope people can just have a moment to realize more about this behavior produced or acted by the politicians. If they are all under the calling from the people, or they just want to achieve another goal. So I don't want to say any very seriously word, but that is true. You have to pound the list because the Taiwan is all the people's. Every citizen all has the obligation to protect our country. That is very important. Okay, so today we just solve these questions. Okay, I quickly solve this question. So that's the video we talk about. Here is the triangle. The triangle, the three sides. A squared minus 1, 2a plus 1. So seek for the range of the A. So what is the hint? What is the hint? The clue of the hint? The clue of the hint is because we know that the triangle's two sides combination is bigger than the third side. So if it is that, we can just to separate into three regulation. One is A plus A squared minus 1 will bigger than 2a plus 1. So we can just get the A is smaller than -1 or A is bigger than 2. And another one side is A plus 2a plus 1 bigger A squared minus 1. So we can just get, remember, 3 minus 17 root divided by 2. The A is among the two roots. Another one root is 3 plus 17 root divided by 2. And the third side, we can discover the 2a plus 1 plus A squared minus 1 bigger A, and then we get A is smaller than -1 or A is bigger than 0. So from 1, 2, 3, from 1, 2, 3. The common range we can obtain what we seek for is A amount 3 plus 17 roots divided by 2 and 2. Okay. Remember the 3 sides. And finally is this answer. Okay, so the key point is what? The characteristic of the triangle is that the 2 sides plus will be bigger than the 3rd side. So every 2 sides we can turn 3 times. So here is 1 time, 2nd time, 3rd time. Every time we can obtain one certain range. And to just orderly pave out the 3 ranges, we just to tidy up the all covered among the 3 times. It's just the answer of the question. So the question is A amount 2 and 3 plus 17 roots divided by 2. Okay, this is today's video. Thank you for your watching. See you next week. Okay, bye-bye.